Hello and welcome back to the Be Free podcast. I am very excited to be back. You may or may not have noticed that I have been gone for a little while. We have had the podcast running in the background, which has been great because we had lots of episodes to share with you. But I am just returning to work today, actually, 1st of June, having taken the whole month of May off to focus on my health. So I've been recovering from some health conditions that have been going on. And yeah, returning back today. So I'm really delighted to be here sharing with you. Got a little bit of a different episode for you today. So today I have if you're watching on YouTube or IGTV, you'll be able to see I have my lovely husband here with me today. And so Stuart is here with me today. During lockdown, Stuart and I ran a number of live sessions we did some Facebook Lives, which are now uploaded to YouTube. Susie and Stu Live.
You did.
And on those, we discussed a whole host of different topics, and they were really well received. We had so much feedback, lots and lots of people really enjoying those sessions, that I thought that I would get Stu on the podcast with me. Now, I am laughing because yesterday I was preparing podcast questions for another guest that I have next week. And Stuart was laughing because he was like, well, where's my preparation and questions? I'm like, well, you don't actually get any preparation or questions. We just get to Freestyle
Susie and Stu.
Freestyle Susie and Stu. So I hope that you can hear both of us okay.
Yeah.
And I was asking Stuart, what we're going to chat about. I did put some questions out on Instagram to see what you might like us to talk about. And the only response I got was from my daughter, who was like, can I go out tonight? So we're going to go for it. We're going to see what comes up. One of the things that we were chatting through ourselves this week was about communication and honest communication and why that is so important in relationships. And so hey Stu.
Thank you for inviting me on. Hello everybody. You may have seen me before or not. Pleasure to be here. Susie and I do quite a lot of things together anyway, and this is just another addition for me anyway, new for me. So a pleasure to be here.
Cool. So where are we going to go with this conversation, Mr. McWilliam?
When we were talking about the other day, I think the key ingredient to any kind of relationship or interaction is effective communication, both ways. And I think that, if we can grasp an understanding of it, it can actually help with the development of relationships, a better understanding of how people act or behave or make decisions and so forth. So really I had a wee think about it, as you do. And I suppose it depends on what the purpose of the communication can determine, how or what you use or when. And generally, communication is to inform people of something, or to persuade people about something, or to entertain people. So depending on what you're trying to talk about or try to communicate, can certainly determine how you go about doing it.
Yeah, because I think one of the things I said that we were chatting through, because I'm still going through this health, I don't know what to term it, issues, condition,
stage and development of your life.
Let's try and like positive terminology. Whatever it is. And I was trying to speak to you about how I was feeling, and I was saying to you, I do find it quite hard to be really honest about how I'm feeling about things, because we are inherently positive people. And it's getting that balance between, you know, being really honest about how you're feeling, but not getting stuck in that emotion. So like I'd said to you, you know, if somebody says to you, oh, like, how are you doing, Susie? I hope you're feeling better. And, you know, and I like, if they had the honest answer, do people really want the honest answer was my question to you.
Yeah. Well, again, I suppose it depends on who it is, in a way. I mean, if it's close friends, if it's your loved one, family, they want the real honesty, as difficult as that may be, because I think family want to be there for you. They want, and men in particular, as you know, we want to fix things, which you can't always do. And that's the kind of where we jump into. So, but I think, you know, when you're talking to family, close friends, people who know you, people who are familiar with you, people who have known you in the past and so forth, I think honesty is really important in particular for you, so that you can get the right response from that other person.
Yeah.
You know, because to get a fake or false response doesn't serve anybody. Certainly doesn't serve you. It doesn't really serve them either, because they're responding to what you've told them. And you're saying, oh yeah, well, yeah, you know, but really underneath you're kind of melting, sort of thing. So I think it depends on who it is. If it's a stranger, or if it's people you've never really met before, then you know, to just go, that's all I really am, maybe is choice in what you actually say to them.
Yeah, and obviously, like, you've experienced like issues in the past with your mental health and communicating that as well. So from a male point of view, how easy do you think it is to have that honest conversation about how you're feeling?
It's never honest. It's never easy.
It's never honest.
Never honest. No, it's never easy. I think you know, you have to be true to yourself to have that honesty, and a lot of people just are not true to themselves, and being honest with how they feel or what they're facing or what they're dealing with or the challenges that they've got. It is very difficult. I think it has been shown in evidence and research that you know, have difficulty opening up. I mean, there's more groups developing these days for men's circles and stuff like that, where they get a chance to go along and to meet other like-minded people who are facing the same sort of challenges in a safe environment, where you feel that you can be honest and true about the kind of feelings and emotions and thoughts that you've got. You know, there's the macho element of you know, the male species, that, you know, we are strong, we can cope with anything and so forth. But I think it's actually, we're starting to find that you know, men have been, you know, having a lot and taking a lot on their shoulders, but not been able to actually exercise it off or deal with it, and it just builds up to the point where it actually just becomes a huge weight, and you crumble because you can't cope with it anymore. So I think it is a challenge, there's no doubt. Even male friends, I mean, unlike female friends that, you know, you will.
Yeah, because I've said to you loads of times, can you not just speak to your friend on the golf course? Can you not have that conversation?
It is more challenging for sure. Definitely. Although I do think that, you know, with some of the podcasts we've been listening to and some of the courses we've been on, there seems to be a greater recognition of so probably in the last kind of 2 decades, maybe, pardon me, where you know, men are starting to say, well, no, I don't feel great, I'm not feeling right, I have got issues, I can't cope, and I do need help, and that doesn't demean the value of your person or your manhood or your of your identity. If anything, it adds to it.
Yeah. Cool. So kind of changing off the topic of communication that we started with, as we do, like to little deviate. What I was going to say is, obviously, I have been through two periods where I have experienced kind of what holistically term a breakthrough. In mainstream, we call breakdown.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, this period that I have just gone through, I, got to that point where I couldn't speak, I couldn't cope, I couldn't, all the health stuff and everything had kind of got to this point of breakdown. My whole body wasn't really working.
Yeah.
And you have obviously experienced breakdown as well. And I just think at this point in time, like in history, there are so many people struggling. And what would your advice be to somebody, a man or even a woman who's in that position where they're just at that point where they feel like they can't take anymore? Obviously, we're speaking about communication as well, but we're both on the other side of these breakdowns. And you have said so many times that it has been like one of the best things that's happened. Like, it's totally changed your life
in a sense.
In a sense. And yeah, the first time that happened to me, I wouldn't be doing the job I'm doing now had I not had that, health stuff breakdown. And then this time, who knows what lies ahead? I'm like coming through the other side of it. Like, I literally feel like someone like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. Like, the whole start of this year has been really dark, and then now it's coming into the space of lightness. But for anybody that's in that dark space or in that cocoon, what advice would you have for them? Hey, you do recruitment for a living. You put people on the spot asking questions and interviewing. Just speak from your heart.
I mean, dealing with people for 35 years for sure from in that environment, because it's just people have got a problem, so they get in touch with you for career-wise and stuff like that. But I think it is difficult. There's absolutely no doubt, because when you're actually in the middle of that, when you're actually experiencing it, it's difficult to see a way out.
Yeah,
it's difficult to see that anybody would be interested in hearing about what's going on with you. We all think everybody's got their own sort of challenges. I don't want to bother anybody else, or and so forth. So with that in mind, the first step is to actually be able to kind of identify somebody who you can actually talk to. Now, that might be somebody who is your conjugal other. It might be a family member. It might be a friend.
Or support groups.
But what I was going to say is that more often than not, I think it's likely to be a stranger.
Yeah.
It's likely to be somebody who doesn't know you, because, we have baggage, we've got history, we've got connectivity, relationships that people know, who you are, what you're about, and your behaviours and so forth, and what values you've got, etc. But so when you go to these, and a support group could be that environment where you actually feel that you can actually reveal more to people who don't actually know you, who won't necessarily judge you. And if you can actually get to that place or find that location, and I would imagine there could be quite a lot, but it's you have to do it for you, because that's what I've discovered, is that, and I've heard many people over the years, is that if it's not coming from you for you, it's very difficult to do it for other people.
Yeah.
For example, I'll stop drinking for my wife or for my kids or for my job or for my relationships. In many instances, that's just not, that why or that purpose is just not strong enough. To the point where we've seen countless times through social media and communications and so forth, that it's not until you actually either hit something or hit rock bottom, and then you think, no, I have had enough. I cannot continue doing this. I have got to make a change and make a difference. And that's where the motivation comes from. So, again, it's advice is really is, don't be too bloody minded, don't be too big, and don't be too proud to reach out and seek help, because you'll be amazed how many people, by just asking them for any kind of assistance, are so willing to help, are so willing to be there. And I'm not just talking about necessarily just that situation of breakdowns or mental illness or addictions or anything like that, but any kind of assistance, any kind of support that people can have. Because if people come to me and say, Stuart, I wonder if you help me out here, all of a sudden my kind of shoulders go back a wee bit and think, oh, somebody's messaging me my advice to them, kind of thing, so there's somebody waiting, or some group waiting, to provide you with the support to help you move forward with whatever challenge you've got.
I 100% agree with all of that. And the fact that, looking at or speaking to a stranger is easier often because of that fear of judgment, that fear of exposing yourself. People may have this perception of who you are, what you're about, and then I know I've struggled with that, where I've attended groups and events where I go for my own personal benefit to share, but struggle to them because people have this perception of me where, she's calm, she's a meditation teacher,
she's got together,
everything's going so good, and all of those kind of things. And I know I was at an event recently where one of my friends and clients were, and they really struggled to see me upset or just letting my guard down in that way. And I am very honest and open and things, but when I've been going through this from a business point of view, I reached out to my a business community that I'm part of, seeking support, because I thought, oh gosh, there's who do I speak to about this, and how do I navigate this period of health challenges and how that affects my business and all of those kind of things, because it was hard to speak to people I knew really well about it.
For that reason, because they've got an expectation of an interaction with you, with a communication with you.
And I love what you said there about kind of we're speaking about support groups and things as well, and I think that that's really valuable, to have people that have experienced what you're going through and are maybe at the other side of it, so you can begin to. I know years ago when I went to the support group Al-Anon, that brought me so much hope during those times, because you could see people who were further ahead of you, had come through this time, and knew exactly how you were feeling and what you were experiencing. So I think that finding the right group, and there's groups for everything, everything these days, or even we were at the Buddhist center, for example, on Monday, and that gave me such joy, just being in that environment and speaking to people,
meeting other people who have got similar types of challenges. And as you're right, everybody's somewhere in their journey, and being around other people who are in the same kind of emotional condition or mental condition and stuff like that, then it definitely does give you that hope. Is a great term for that, that there is something more than what I'm actually feeling and experiencing right now.
I think that's one of the first stages of overcoming challenge, breakdown, mental health issues, all these things, that you have to have that faith or hope that there's something better, that
Yeah.
there's, you know, a way out. And you were speaking about someone the other day, and they were like, I won't say who it was, but you were speaking about someone the other day and just saying, like, they will always, always, always provide hope. And like if you were to go to them for support, they would be like, oh, well, you could do this, you could do that, you could, always, you said, like, they would always find jolly hope. Do you know what I'm speaking about?
No.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm going to get into the year afterwards.
Not at all. So if there is anybody struggling, and right now I think the world can be a really tricky place to navigate, there is hope. There are people out there to support. There's so many organizations, the likes of Samaritans, mental health charities, that you can reach out for support. Your, GP, friends, loved ones, relatives,
Can I just say something on the closer people to you, whether it's your immediate family or friends and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
If I could flip that over to the communication, if there's anybody that you see or that you know are perhaps not, they've changed, or they've maybe perhaps introverted, or they've dropped off the radar for whatever reason, or you don't see so much of them, or you just think there's something happening. I think that the one thing that we have lost in a communication element is the written word. And I think that if there's anybody that you know or are aware of that might be struggling one way or another, dropping them a note, saying that you're here, you're thinking about them. If there's anything that you can do to support or provide for them, you'd be delighted to be available to assist. But that action won't get a positive response, I think, initially, because people say, "Oh, no, me, I'm fine," type of thing. But having them be aware that there actually is somebody that is actually thinking or looking out for them, if you like.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a loving thing to do. And I know I've appreciated that the past couple of months for people that have reached out to me, whereby as you say, like, I haven't been able to speak to people about stuff, but receiving cards or messages, and then 100% we'll look forward to connecting with and speaking to those people. I'm so grateful for them.
Because during that whole process as well, is we hide it, and it's great to see if somebody's identified it in you, and you're not a very good hider of what you're experiencing.
Amazing.
Marvelous.
So we've covered quite a lot there. If any of this has, touched you in any way, or you feel that you need any support or would like to connect with Stuart or myself further, then please do reach out to us. We will be happy to connect with you. Is there anything, actually, let me ask you, because I ask all my podcast guests this.
Go ahead. Yes, today.
So the podcast is called Be Free, the book, My Life is all about that. Yep. So what to you makes you feel free?
That's a good question. See, if you'd actually sent that to me, I would have thought about it. I think being free, to me, is recognizing that you have enough. We're always pursuing things. We're always wanting more. We're always wanting better this or better that. And maybe perhaps for me, being free is actually just stopping and breathing and recognizing all the joy that I've got around about me.
Yes.
That's enough. And it isn't a pound sign or a dollar sign. because even with all that, you can still be unhappy and in a not healthy place. So I think that would be it for me.
Woohoo! Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. And is there anything else you would like to add or to share before we jump off?
No, I think, as you say, I think we've covered quite a fair bit. But as you say, if you want something bad enough, you will find a way of actually finding it or getting it or achieving it. And that's no different with going and seeking out help, because there is absolutely, whether it's in your village, your town, your country, it could be north, in down south or anything, as long as it can help you exercise and get out how you're feeling and get the support, then I would just definitely go for it. As difficult as it is to do, but just know that when you get to that point, there will be people there who are going to make you feel safe.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you, Mr. McWilliam, for coming on with me today. I really appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in, to listening. Please, I would love if you could share this episode wherever, on social media, with your friends, with your loved ones. Subscribe, rate it, leave a comment. All of those things are really, really valuable just for spreading the word further. What I would also say is that I have decided today, 1st of June, for the whole of June, anyone who decides to join my Be Free community will receive a 2-card reading from me. Now, I've been doing these the past 2 days for my members, so doing some angel card readings. Stuart's laughing. Yeah, I've been relentlessly doing these card readings, but I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And my members are loving the insight that they are being given. So if you would be interested in receiving a card reading from me, all you have to do is simply sign up to my beautiful Be Free community anytime in the month of June, and I will personally do a reading for you. I send you a voice recording and images of your cards as well, so you can connect with them. You can even send me a question you would like to ask the cards, or we can just see what the guidance the universe has for you. So I will pop the link to that in all the comments where this is displayed, in the show notes as well. So simply head to my website, www.befreewithsusimcwilliam.com, head to our community space, and you can sign up with any of the options there, and I will do a card reading for you this month. So it's our 2-year birthday of our Be Free community.
Oh, splendid. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Well,
so yeah, exactly. So that's why we had a little card reading extravaganza birthday bonus. And this month, actually, just before I jump off, is all about I am enough. So it ties in, I would think, to me, recovery from any mental health issue, breakdown, breakthrough, comes back to that sensation that you're enough. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
And this month, it just seems like divine timing that this is happening on our 2-year birthday, because this is a great starting point for anyone looking to support themselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically as well. We've got some physical practices within our membership community as well. So if this is something you struggle with, that feeling of not being good enough, that inner critic, that noise in your head, we have the most incredible masterclass this month. It's more like a mini course, actually, to guide you through overcoming that, building your self-esteem, and overcoming that inner critic. So please do go check that out. Drop me a message if you want to know more, or as I said, just head to the website and head to our community page, and you will get instant access to all that incredibleness, live sessions with me. I am back teaching this month, and I'm really excited to share that with you. And yeah, I think that is it for now. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. Cannot wait to connect. And yeah, get sharing on your stories, your social media. I love to do little reshares and connect with you all. Okay, wishing you a beautiful day. Bye.